What is up, comic fans? Welcome to the Legion of Comics. It's Sunday night. That means this is at week's end. The spoiler-filled look back at this week in comics and so much more. And there's plenty to talk about tonight. I'm excited to be back home from vacation and to wind it all down, kicking it with the homies and hanging out with you all in the chat. So let's get right into it. Huge shout out to Big Time Collectibles. Be sure to check them out. They just launched their gold tier membership program, a fantastically cool program for people that are fans of exclusives, amazing comic books, discounts, early access to products, all kinds of cool stuff. So check that out. And if you need anything clean or pressed, hit up my friend Justin over on Instagram. Make sure you let him know you found him via the channel. Take advantage of special offers that he runs for viewers of the channel. And as always, a big shout out to ABX Comics and Games. That's my local comic shop, which I did make it back in town today and make it to go pick up my books. It was a fantastic week of comics. So the link to all of those fantastic people that I highly approve of are in the comments below. And I do want to go ahead and point out that Comicx Curing Cancer is officially in the works. C3 2023 will be going on, kicking off Friday, October 20th and running through Sunday, October 22nd. You can check out my Instagram, Rob's Fat Sacks of Comics Instagram, or DJ Link's Instagram to get the little details of the want list of how you can help to start participating. As of now, we're not looking for money. We're looking for people that want to donate books potentially, or has connections with artists, or you are an artist yourself. We're looking for commission pieces, auction donations, future commission pieces, just any and everything that you think that you can put forward to help raise awareness and funds to kick cancer's ass. Last year we raised $22,000, and this year we're aiming for higher because why not? Let's ask Paul. Why not?
Exactly. Why not? Two questions that need no answer. They answer themselves. Why not?
Why not? TM Nerdy. Why not?
Why so?
Exactly. There it is. So be sure to check out those IG pages. I'm sure you'll start seeing that. I saw where Rob was posting today, so I went ahead and posted and shared it out to a lot of people and asked everyone to start posting it. So you'll see all the details in that on Instagram. I'll post it to my YouTube community tab sometime tomorrow, start spreading it out and start posting it regularly. And I'm going to start hitting my local shops, all the local shops here, from ABX Comics and Games, Dead Media Collectibles, Top Dog Comics. They all participated last year, and I've already spoken to them months ago, so I'm going to be making the round. So if that's something, any kind of relationship you have with your comic shops, that's always a great place to see if anybody would want to donate books, because last year we had, for anybody that donated, we had a giveaway wheel where if you donated from Friday or Saturday, we put your name on a giveaway wheel and just spun it. Just spent hours spinning a wheel and just picking a name and a prize for you, kind of thing. So we need plenty of stuff like that for the giveaway wheel as well. So yeah, any and everything can find a purpose for something like this. So I'm going to start drawing attention to that regularly on the channel here. You're going to be hearing a lot of that because it's really not that far away. So let's say hey to some of the people in the chat. Las Cruces first. Hello from New Mexico. Hello, Las Cruces. It's good to see you. Very good to see you. What is going on, Hefe? What, the highs out and New Mutants lately? I remember being out. No, it's New Mutants. I remember being out in Sierra visiting. I don't know that one, and it sucked, but not as bad as Iraq. Yeah, I can imagine.
Ooh.
Here for the cookies. Phil's got you covered. What's going on, Phil? What is going on, Scott? Hope you're doing good today. Scrolling. Well, hello to Paul. Hello, Paul. I just texted you right before this show. I was looking through the DC Connects. It's a question about that right there, and I'm excited to talk about that. Excited for that to come out. I'm ready. I'm already ready. The marketing campaign for that Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong has absolutely worked already. I'm sold.
He'll be camping out.
Yeah. Dr. Von Hoot, what is happening? Good evening to you. Throwing those custom emojis that you get access to by becoming a channel member. KBDM, hello to you. Hello. House of L Comics, what is happening? Jamie DC7, hello. Mark, I'll check your IG tomorrow at work now. I know a few artists I could talk to. That's fantastic. And yeah, Jeff, I'll DM you the post too, so you have it sitting in your messages, so you can just easily copy and send it to them for information. I appreciate that. Definitely appreciate that. Izzy, my man, what is happening? Hope you're doing good tonight. Esteban, what is up? Yo, yeah, Esteban just left a comment on that the Florida video. Paul made a good point. He's in Tampa. I don't know how far away that is from Jacksonville.
It's a good 4 hours.
Oh, good God. So the conclusion just came to it. You have to meet us in Jacksonville. Yeah, but there's a lot of people in Florida in the comic community. Phil, what is happening? Collecting with Durs, hanging with the family, stopping by to drop a hello, my beautiful homies. Durs, it's good seeing you, my friend. I feel like I've been gone for so long. But I haven't. My front yard looked like I was gone for an eternity. We have like Johnson grass, so it just like springs up like a foot high, and it's rained a lot. Jacksonville is really far. I've been there. It's a 3-hour drive. Yeah.
3-hour drive.
Yeah, you're the same way I am. 3 hours, that's really far. My circle is very tight. Eman, World of Geeks. Eman put out a fantastic San Diego Comic-Con video today. It was a failed vlog, and it worked out perfectly as a YouTube video. It looked like he had a blast. One of my artists is down in Tampa and hardtable.com this weekend. Hat table, yep. Very cool. The vacation was fantastic. It was super cool. It's always fun. It's always chill. I spend 10 days on St. Simon's every year, and that's like it means like I'm hopping over to Jekyll every couple of days or every other day kind of thing. And one day out of the week, I always go down to Jackson. Is it Jackson or Jacksonville?
Jacksonville.
Go down to Jacksonville. For the past couple of years now, when I go down there, me and Paul meet at Jacksonville and have lunch, hit some stores, and we kind of like started like a comic crawl, like a mini comic crawl. We drive around, and there's a lot of shops in a reasonable distance, and we had a blast. If you're a channel member, the video for all of that it just went up less than an hour ago, but otherwise it'll release Wednesday. Tomorrow is the Graded Comic Collection Part 5 video that has the Catwoman giveaway slab that's included in it, so check that out. Drive to Jacksonville or watch Oppenheimer. Ella. Exactly. That just puts it in perspective. I was doing that to the kids on the ride home. They're like, how far away are we? I'm like, one movie away. Mm-hmm. They're not even watching a movie, but I give them like time references, you know. What is going on, Flo? Flo Dameron. That's another guy who I saw posting. He scored some of the same toys that I think he's got one of the figures, but he found some really cool McFarlane multiverse figures this past week. He posted on his IG. Is that where Johnny Cash? Yeah. No, he goes to Jackson. This is Jacksonville, so no Johnny Cash. I just want to say that Mark Terrence Howard's Ryan. I want to say that Mark Terrence Howard Ryan.
I think what he's saying is that exactly. You replaced Ryan, so with TM Nerdy.
Ryan is not replaced, not by a mile. Ryan's irreplaceable. I have a very, very soft spot in my heart for Ryan. I love that guy to death. He's one of my oldest YouTube compadres. He will be back. I promise you guys that. Is he related to Poe Dameron? Ugh. I don't like the sequels. Maybe, maybe not. Saw Barbie today, and I can't tell if that emoji is raising the roof.
I think that's what he's doing.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I saw Barbie today standing on my desk too. All right. Got through the chat a little bit there. I appreciate everybody rolling in and hanging out with us. Don't forget that thumbs up and all that good stuff. There's not a lot of new movies to break down. Have not watched Barbie or Oppenheimer yet. We ended up not seeing either. Kind of everyone, my wife and oldest wanted to see Barbie sometime during the week, and we actually didn't even go see a movie this year. Everyone just kind of chilled and Wang Chung. They kind of all the wind in their sails. deflated with Barbie after it released for a couple of days. Like I guess the new wore off, and they just didn't want to go through the effort. If that makes sense. They don't get as hyped for movies as I do. Like when I'm hyped for something, I'm going. I'm going. But we'll see. It's performing well.
Yeah, it's
Barbie
still
and
number
Oppenheimer
one.
both. Mm-hmm.
The latest Disney one again did not do well. It started as number 3.
Which one did?
Haunted Mansion.
Oh yeah. That's a flop. Saw that coming a mile away.
They
All
should
right,
have
here
put
we
that
go.
out near Halloween.
Yeah, it makes a little bit of sense to release haunted movies around Halloween. All right, let's go ahead and hit on this. This is something that I'm not up to speed on, but we do have our resident Power Bottom TM Nerdy here to fill us in on Secret Invasion. He was a fan of it after the first couple episodes and kept everybody up to date on his thoughts and his reviews of them on his channel. But wrap up the season for us here, team. How did that finale go? What are your overall thoughts? Where do we go from here?
I don't know where they go from here because like I'm worried that this will be a whole new plot point that never gets addressed again, just like in the Eternals. Not much resolution came out of this. There was some good characters that were introduced, like Sonya, but other than that, the entire series kind of sucked. Moved away from Secret Invasion and was more about Priscilla and Nick Fury's love. Like that last episode, they kept cutting away to show a scene with those two together, and then they ended the episode with those two going off into space together. I was like, okay, it could have been a lot more said about what's going on here, but they kind of threw away that. And I feel like the editing was the worst. I feel like a lot of things got cut out because they wanted to tell a longer story, but they were given only 6 episodes. With them being able to tell like maybe a 10-episode series or cut away from what's happening with Fury and Priscilla, maybe it could be something good, but it raises more questions than answers any of them.
Oh, he cut out. That signal got him.
Nick
Wasn't
Fury,
me.
all over it.
Does it lead into the Marvels? Isn't that the next big Marvel movie? I think saying it's the next big Marvel is definitely subjective, but it's the next one that'll be in theaters.
If they don't put it off.
Yeah, which wasn't this movie delayed already a bunch of times?
Yeah. When has that ever stopped anybody from delaying it again?
Never. Not a once. Not a once. So did it have anything at the ending, Travis, that kind of like teed it up for the Marvels?
No. Well, a little bit. Spoilers for it. They did say that they're going back up the Sabres. Priscilla's going back up with Nick Fury. And I guess it's going to tie in a little bit because they're going back up to Saber. But they've talked to the Kree and coming to an alliance between the Kree and the Skrulls. And she's going up there as his kind of diplomat because she's better at talking to people and he sucks at communicating with people. So
Super weird.
I'm guessing that's into the Marvels. I'm not sure because the Kree and the Skrulls were a big part for Captain Marvel, the first Captain Marvel movie.
Esteban said YouTube didn't like your criticism.
That's
Kicked you. Well, Dr. Afra is the best modern made. A lot of people are fans of Dr. Afra here in the chat. I know a lot of like Comic Man Andy speaks highly of Dr. Afra as well. I couldn't care less. It might be good, Dr. Afra. I don't know, but I couldn't care less about Star Wars if someone forced me to. Like that's how little I care about Star Wars anymore. Like I love the stuff that I love, and I can sit there and talk all day about the originals and the prequels and stuff. And I can.
Star Wars has become in some ways like the Marvel Batman family. There's just a million titles now.
Yeah, it's pretty much its own fandom. Like it's like kind of like X-Men and Batman, like you said. There's some titles out there that they make it difficult to be fans of because they put out so much trying to cash grab with it. They're like, because there's plenty of people that collect it all when it comes to like Batman or Spider-Man or Star Wars and X-Men, where they just oversaturate it to justify a cost. It's a bummer how much the quality suffers because of that. It shouldn't have been called Secret Invasion since the Kree weren't heavily included, said E-Man. E-Man. Hefe says that there's a mid-credit scene in the new Turtles movie that's polling high on Rotten Tomatoes. Had 45 critic reviewed it. Had sitting at 96%. And I don't know.
I'm going to see it Tuesday.
Kids' cartoons typically always score high. Like, you want to find 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, just go look up kids' cartoons. That's just all day. So I'm not a child. I don't care for the animation style in it. It just looks like that Spider-Verse stuff again, and
I was just gonna say that it reminds me a lot of like they're trying to cash in on the animation from the Spider-Verse.
Mm-hmm. Now, to probably shoot myself in the foot here, I do like the first of the newer movies they did with Ninja Turtles, and Out of the Shadows was the second one. I didn't care as much for Out of the Shadows. I felt like they leaned way too heavily into the campy little kid cartoon aspect of it. The first one I thought was wicked. Was super dope. I like that one a lot. Like it a lot, but I don't know. My kids don't seem to really have much interest for it. They love Turtles. They love Ninja Turtles, but I'm not even sure if it's really registered with them. I know they've seen the commercial for it a few times, but we'll see. I hated how Gaia became a ridiculously overpowered Super Scroll and didn't make much sense because all the characters' powers aren't tied to DNA. Yeah, she had like all the arms, right?
She has every single superhero's power in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. All of the characters that were in, like that dropped blood during the Battle of Earth in Infinity War, she has now the powers of them, including Carol Danvers. So she's the most overpowered character in the MCU. So this is definitely not going to continue with her in a story at all.
I didn't say I didn't like cartoons. They went too little kid with it for me. I might be tainted, Jonathan, because of how much little kid content I have to watch with little kids in my house. Like it drives me nuts. It's at the point where like, Dad, do you like this show? And I'm just like, no, I don't. Why not? I'm like, because it's terrible. I just look Finn in the face and tell him it's terrible. And they try to find one that I like too and strike out. Then turn on Batman the Animated Series and then we'll talk, kid.
Yeah, I'm guessing you're talking about Mantis. Yeah, she does have the powers of Mantis too.
So I'm behind on my Adventures of Superman. We were mentioning this backstage, just trying to see what's what this week. I'm still only on episode 3. I keep forgetting that it's a thing. It hasn't been like put into my mental schedule yet. Paul, are you up to speed on it?
I am.
Catch us up. What happened this week? What's going on?
Well, so far, last week too, we've seen Amanda Waller and Deathstroke. We have now seen a version of the Parasite. We saw a version, another hero today. We had Livewire in the initial one, so they're bringing out, and the tease for the next episode seems as though we might get Giganto. So we now have Lois Lane has discovered that Clark Kent is Superman at the end of the episode, so that's out of the bag.
Did he reveal or did she discover it?
It was one of those. She knew it was him. He didn't admit it, so she jumped off the building.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that is awesome.
Yep.
I stopped DVRing that. My Adventures. Is it supposed to be Lloyd or Jimmy telling the story? Lois or Jimmy telling the story. First 3 episodes, just Yeah, it ain't really got me over the moon. There's not much out there right now that's really just blowing me away. I watched Jonah Hex on vacation trying to find.
There isn't, which is why I'm able to keep up with with that.
This is when they should have released Gotham Knights. This window right here.
Yeah,
This would have been it. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking about going back and catching up on it. That first episode left me wanting now. See, Superman, My Adventures of Superman, got to catch up with that. What else was coming? There was something else coming out regularly. I guess it was Secret Invasion.
Harley Quinn is due back.
Harley's
Oh,
is
Harley
it back?
Quinn's.
I
I
think
think
it's
it
back
already
now, right?
dropped its. Yeah, it dropped its first episode. I haven't watched it yet, but it is back. I think it's back every Sunday. Maybe 2 episodes now. I'm not sure. I'm gonna look it up now.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that for sure. I'm looking forward to that. I got a lot to play catch up on. I got wrestling from this past week to catch up on that, and Twisted Metal. Like this, I'm hearing nothing but good stuff from. Airs on Peacock, and everyone who watched it has pretty much said the same thing that Jonathan says. It's bad, but in the best way. It's fully self-aware, and they're having fun with this. I think TM out of the 3 of us is the only one that watched that one. Fill us in, TM. How many episodes do they drop, and what's up with it?
I wish they didn't drop it all at once, because it would have been good to spread it out, especially with they dropped all 10 episodes all at once, and with the writer and actor strike, they could have spread it out 10 weeks and then be closer to maybe the writer or actor strike being done, because I do want to see season 2 of this. It has aspects of the game, because it was a game from Twisted Metal from 1995 where the whole object of the game is Calypso puts on this yearly battle royale with vehicles, gets the best riders, drivers across the world, puts them head to head, and at the end you get a wish. You get to wish for something that your heart's desire, and it all would be like a monkey
That's a
paw.
Champions mixed with Dragon Ball.
No, it's more like vehicles. So I'd say I don't know. It's like battle royale type. You get to put weapons on your vehicles, and each character has its own little end story if they win. And it's always a monkey paw kind of scenario where one person wins and they're like, I want to live in a world without I don't want to live in a world where this contest exists to kill too many people. So Calypso says your wish is granted, throws him and his vehicle out into space. Now he doesn't live in a world where this contest happens. So he got his wish, but it's kind of
that's a dick move.
So everybody in the game never got their wish. This wasn't the aspect of the show. They took a new role on it, and it worked. It worked following Anthony Mackie's character, who is John Doe, a guy that has amnesia. He's actually a character from the game. Gave him a little bit of a different story, but aspects of his actual story. And a new character played by Stephanie Beatrice, who plays Quiet. Stephanie Beatrice, if you guys don't know, she's from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. She plays Detective Rosa Diaz. Mm-hmm. And we got a lot of characters, a lot of Easter eggs from the game. You can go into this without even playing the game, but if you played the game, you'll get some of these references. They even throw in a cheat code at one point, just being silly about it.
That's really cool.
Sweet Tooth, Needles Kane, perfect. They did a whole backstory on him, and it was perfectly done. I know people are complaining that, they had a perfect story for Twisted Metal Black. Not really. If they took the story from Twisted Metal Black, then none of these characters would matter anything, because it's all in his head. So who gives a crap about it? And a lot of people were pissed off about that, because they were like, well, we have favorite characters now that they mean nothing. Their backstory means nothing. So it was a fun, adventurous. It did have a lot of funny moments in it. But Needles
was it pretty violent? Was it gory violent?
There little bit, yeah. They didn't there was not too bad of gore, but there was a lot of different type of I don't want to say it's too gory, because if it was too gory I wouldn't have watched it, but it wasn't we want to focus you guys on the gore. We want the gore to be the main stage, if you know what I mean, right? They do show somebody blew up their brain, and then they go to the blood on the ground and stuff, and then they say like, "Oh, looks like he had a lot of brains," and then they go off of it. So
Remember Death Race with Jason Statham? I love that movie. It was an old Roger Corman movie they remade. That's what it's making me think about, is equipping the vehicles with firearms and driving around just mayhem.
Will Arnett is it. He voices I don't know this wrestler, but a lot of people
Samoa
are
Joe.
going to look up
Samoa
the name
Joe.
of the wrestler. Yeah, Samoa Joe plays like he's the body of Needles Kane, Sweet Tooth, and then Will Arnett voices him, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, Samoa Joe's
If I would
pretty
have
cool.
to
He's
get
one of
somebody to
David-
voice him, so yeah, there is some gore in it though. It's definitely not for kids. Definitely not for kids. And yeah, it made me happy near the end too when they like revealed some stuff. But I'm pumped. I hope it does get a season 2, because like there was a character in this that is said to come back, and it's what's his name? Jason Mantzoukas.
Haven't heard of that guy. What is going on, Brian? LCS.
This guy right here. He's from like Big Mouth and that.
Oh, he's like a funny actor, right?
He was on
he
Brooklyn
plays in-
Nine-Nine too.
Yeah, so it was really cool
Not
seeing
every
them have a
episode,
scene
but
together.
yeah.
He played Memento, and that he's played in a few things. He played in Paper Girls as well, the main villain in Paper Girls. He shows up in it, and it was just a fantastic scene between them. Anthony Mackie kills it. Stephanie Beatrice and him together is fantastic. Love the Easter eggs, love the action, love the comedy, love the character development throughout the show. Go watch it, guys, because it's probably one of the only good things on right now.
Yeah, I've got to go put Peacock back on this phone. I had it on my old phone and I haven't even put it on this one. Too much to watch now. I went from not having enough to watch, now I have too much to watch. The guy you recognize but don't know exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
If you're a Neil Gaiman fan, Good Omens 2 is out.
What's out?
Good Omens 2?
Good Omens 2.
I don't know if
that was a big topic of the past week for us there, Paul. My oldest daughter picked up the novel and read the original novel. It was hilarious. She kept stopping along the way and making me read little pages from it. Just the interaction between Crawley and however you say the other guy's name. It's like a big, long, angelic word.
There, man.
That's it.
I can't think of it right now.
I like the first season, and that it's been a while since I guess COVID hit. The first season came out way before COVID.
Yep.
When will Big Doug this series be? Good Omens is great. Yeah, that's an Amazon Prime show. Now, after reading that stuff and listening to Emma just over the moon about it, like ridiculously enjoyed it, I want to watch that show now.
Yeah, the first season was really good.
With the Pitfall series. No, it was not Azrael. It was a longer one. See, no one mentioned Bad Grandpa with Robert De Niro and Zac Efron. He was in that. He was hilarious in that. He played
hilarious.
Sandy.
He's hilarious in everything he does. Like,
dude, he was so funny. That he was like he ran like a beach shop and he sold drugs. And he's like, but only the natural stuff: weed, shrooms, meth. And they're like, meth? I thought you said natural. He's like, he goes, yeah, it grows naturally in my basement. He's insane.
A zero fail. A zero fail.
Yeah, that's it.
I was never going to remember that. I had to look it up.
Yeah.
Crowley is much easier to remember.
It is, isn't it? What is going on, Brother John's Comics? Good to see you this evening. Beckerman jumped in the chat. Hello to Beckerman. Bad Grandpa, Efron and De Niro are a great. Yeah, dude, I love that movie. I'm a big Zac Efron fan. I never saw him in the High School Musical stuff, so like I know him from like Greatest Showman, Baywatch. He was great in Baywatch. I loved that Baywatch. It was ridiculously funny, man. It was insane.
I really liked him
They,
in Neighbors, or like they called it Neighbors,
Yeah.
and then some were called Bad Neighbors. Yeah, with Seth Rogen in that. I absolutely love that movie.
Yeah, he was great in that.
They released the first photo of him. He's going to be in a new movie about the Von Erich brothers.
Yeah, I want to be checking that out too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I want to talk about a show that just came back on. I watched the first season and just watching the second season. It's on Apple TV. It's called The After Party.
To Scott, that was Baywatch the movie, not Baywatch the TV series.
Yeah, Baywatch with Dwayne Johnson.
This show is called The After Party. Different characters from the first season into this season. It's a comedy mystery show where somebody dies at the beginning of the episode, and then they go over and talk to everybody in the house, and it's all comedy actors, and they retell the story of what happened that night, episode per episode. Each story is told differently and presented differently. Some are cartoons, some are just the way that they're presenting it in their head. One was a black and white noir. It's hilarious. It's like I said, it's a mystery comedy show. First season dropped. Second season, it's on episode 4 or 5 right now. But it's a funny show if you guys want to check that out on Apple TV.
Yo, a couple of things. I don't know why talking about Zac Efron made me think of the Deadpool 3 movie. There's been a lot of set photos and footage and stuff showing and confirming the whole Deadpool kills the Fox universe thing, like Wolverine and Deadpool fighting in front of a crumbled 20th Century Fox logo. So that's gonna be wild. Pretty much confirmed that. But Loki season 2 trailer tomorrow. I did see the poster for it. You have like a bunch of different Lokis walking around the Miss Minutes clock. Yeah, I'm gonna have to wait and see. Just the Marvel stuff just doesn't. I've learned my lesson.
I almost forgot about Loki too. Yeah, I want to see Loki too.
I'm definitely going to watch it. I enjoyed the first one. But again,
it's my favorite out of the MCU shows.
Yeah, but I know you're saying, Mark, it's one of those, like, fool me once type situations, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't think, I don't know what happened, but there's nobody, in my humble opinion, there's nobody behind the scenes in charge of creativity over at Marvel that's capable of putting out enjoyable content for me. And I hope they'll prove me wrong. I know that it's possible. It's not that hard to prove me wrong. But they're on a winning streak of not proving me wrong right now. What is going on, Tate Prime? GLD started. Catch you later. All right, Scott. You have a good night, man. We'll take it easy, man. I'm really looking forward to Loki season 2. Yeah, I hope it's good. I really hope it's good. I'm just super nervous, and especially with like the Jonathan Majors stuff. This was all filmed, so like who knows what's going to happen with this? Hey, if they find Kevin Spacey innocent, Jonathan Majors has a chance, because that happened this past week.
Right.
I saw the announcement Kevin Spacey was found innocent of all charges. I immediately messaged the Illuminati guys that news article and said, well, there goes all my jokes I've been planning for a while. Like, golly, what are the odds? Lex Luthor beat the system. Congratulations if he's innocent. How about that? I'll just leave it at that. If you're innocent, congratulations. Thanos is a click away. All the Marvel writers, 100%. 100%. What is going on, Shop for Comics? Hope you're doing good tonight.
So what is the deal with I haven't been following any news with Jonathan Majors. Last I heard, like, it wasn't going to be cleared or something like that. Like, no, nothing.
None of the trials have even started yet.
Nothing. He's just still sitting there. He's not in jail or nothing.
And Marvel has been pretty much radio silent on him. So.
Okay, there we go. Dr. Von, who says he has more charges pending in the U.S. Okay. He was a good
So-
Luther, better than Jesse. A spirited successor of Gene Hackman.
I do agree too. Like, are people going to be not watching? I know there's a lot of fans of Jonathan Majors, but like, he's going to be like probably in almost every single episode of Loki season 2. I want to say, like maybe 1 or 2, possibly not, because he was, or just a couple of scenes. Because like they gave us a scene from like that end credit scene.
Yeah,
is
at the end
is
of
definitely
Ant-Man.
a scene from Loki season 2. So I'm not sure how many different versions of like if he's going to be following this version of Kang.
I don't know.
Every episode.
That's where they left us off with Loki, like creeping up on him in one of the timelines, right?
Yeah, but it's really not too different. I mean, you could go a whole different. You could do one of the variants now is going to be a woman or whatever. So they could go. The fact that there are variants actually plays into of their favor.
Yeah. Too bad DC didn't do that with the Flash.
Mhm.
Might have had better odds. That Ezra stuff killed that movie in a big way, but rightfully so, man. If you really burn your credibility that far down,
Right.
I mean, you got to earn it back. You don't just get a free pass.
Yeah. And I mean, Marvel has a
I'm
Loki
worried.
alligator, so they can do whatever they want.
I'm worried about Blue Beetle too because like nobody can
Oh
promote
yeah,
that
we can
movie
talk
now.
about that for sure. The tickets go on sale TM Tuesday. Pre-sale tickets for the Blue Beetle, and it releases wide release August 18th. And it's tracking for the lowest, some kind of record low tracking. It's looking like it's going to pull off a 15 to 18 million domestic run at the box office. Like it's like something crazy low.
Yeah, if Zola if there wasn't like an actor strike right now, Zola would be able to like promote it. It'd be like because he's very popular from the Karate or Cobra Kai. So him promoting it, saying like he has a new movie, all of his fans and people that have been there for him, like for Cobra Kai, would probably come and watch the movie. Without all of that publicity, promotion, none of it, I don't think the movie's going to do good at all. But I'm definitely going to be going to see it opening night, and I think everybody here should too. Everybody in the chat want to see all of your guys' tickets on Tuesday. Send them to me on Instagram, TM_nerdy. I want to see them all. Let's make this movie a
Alrighty.
success.
Yeah, I'll be going to see it
Mhm.
opening Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday of the opening week. It'll be in school, so it's like the kids will have started school. I think that's going to be something that I don't know if that's going to play to its strengths or if it could potentially hurt it. It might actually play to its strengths. I don't know if it has much competition as new releases go that weekend or anything. And you have people starting back school and wanting to do something kind of easy and simple on the weekends. Maybe it'll be helpful for theaters to have that routine of people wanting to do something on the weekends again. And summer, like you have like all week kind of thing in a lot of cases, but we'll see.
The only thing that's coming out at the same time is Strays.
What is that?
That's it's a movie about dogs.
He doesn't mean parking tickets. Izzy said Blue Beetle is in jeopardy and all signs point to bomb, but I'm going to see it. I've got 4 tickets to show you, TM Nerdy. And Jeff said he doesn't mean parking tickets. Yeah, I'm going to figure out the logistics and all that stuff. Hopefully, Pops will want to go see it. I know there's a Dan Garrett suit in this movie in their hideout. I know Pops is down to clown to go see it. It looks fun. It looks ridiculously fun. And keep in mind, this was one that was originally slated to be a HBO Max release, but the new guard came in and said Warner Brothers is not in the business of making movies for straight to television. Warner Brothers is in the business of making film. So we're still seeing all the projects from the old guard. We have not hit the new guard's creative run on anything yet. We're still just seeing how they're releasing what they inherited, but I think it looks fantastic. I'm excited. I got the McFarlane figures for it, which if you're a channel member of that Florida video, you can take a look at those. I teased them already on IG. I'll be putting out shorts with them. I mean, that it looks good to me. It just looks fun, and like I'm confident that I'm going to take Finn opening day to see it. I don't think it's going to be inappropriate in any way for that. And he saw the trailer, and he's asking if he can go. I'm like, of course you can go. He's like, but can I go the first time you see it? Because he knows with some stuff I have to see it first, you know. He's like, can I go the first time we see it? I don't want to wait. I'm like, yeah, buddy, you can go the first time. I paid the parking tickets this weekend. Fire. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is coming to Disney Plus August 2nd, and I'm going to see that. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I enjoyed the hell out of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I enjoyed it tremendously.
I seen a video of somebody that got an early release of the Blu-ray, and I guess there's a lot of great commentary on the Blu-ray. So if you guys have not caught the Blu-ray, if you want to see all the commentary, all the extra features and stuff, definitely get the Blu-ray for Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Yeah, I'll probably end up getting that just to complete out the run. I haven't bought like an MCU movie on disc probably since Guardians 2. Do they make the Disney Plus stuff on physical media? Yeah, it'll just fit right in. Just bloop, close that back, close that chapter. They don't, dude. They are missing the boat. Like they're bleeding money left and right. All these companies are, and they're not leaning into physical media when they've already learned that that's one of the biggest crutches that they no longer have.
Walt Disney Home Entertainment announced this week that they're going to stop releasing all physical media, including Blu-rays and anything, in Australia.
Testing the market. So you can watch if your internet works, you can watch our stuff. If your internet doesn't work, you can go fly a kite. Right?
And that sucks too for the people that like to get good quality stuff, because if they're streaming it, they're getting compressed media instead of the actual media.
Yep. Yeah, I buy like cause I buy digital copies. Like I bought the background. I bought World on digital. I waited and I'd hit a couple spots on vacation. They didn't have it, and I ended up just buying it on digital because I was ready to watch it. And I'm still going to buy the physical one because I typically wait, because the physical ones I buy, I get like the 4K or the Blu-ray. For the anime, I just get Blu-ray, and it comes with a digital. But even when I'm buying digital, I intentionally pick the high resolution ones. Like if they have a 4K option, if they have like the UXD where it just upscales it based on whatever setup it's coming through. And even when I got like Avatar 2 in 4K digital release, I'm like, wow, this looks amazing. But then you put the physical disc in and you're like, how does it look even better? Like it's noticeably different watching a high definition digital version versus a physical media disc. It's just not the same at all. E-Man's coming in saying that he likes the representation, a Latino superhero, and I'm rooting for Blue Beetle to surprise everyone. Between him and Miles, for someone like me, Latino representation matters. Now let's hope that they didn't put their representation foot forward, and let's hope they put their quality foot forward for you. Because I do completely agree with the representation thing, but not at the cost of the quality of the product. Because then who you representing? Give them the best you got. Don't give it to them just guys. Oh yeah, check that box. But Jaime's had a really strong comic history in the short time he's been around, since like what, 2005 did he come out, or six?
Yep.
6.
Infinite Crisis #3 was his first appearance.
I think it was 2006. So he's been a really cool character, and he's tied in so well, and so they've separated him, like even like Dan, Ted, and Jaime. Like it's a really great legacy character in a sense that like one's a detective, one's an inventor, and one is dealing with an alien apocalyptic weapon that forged to his skin. Like it's fantastic how they've done that.
He even made it to the.
They will license films out to indie publishers like Criterion and Arrow sooner or later, so I'm not too worried. Yeah, you're also not Australian, Dr. Bond. Yeah, streaming films are compressed so much so they don't need a ton of bandwidth to watch. Physical media is always way, way better. Yeah, Blue Beetle's costume looks fantastic. And if y'all see those McFarlane figures in stores, dude, they outdid themselves with those. Like the details and everything on it is ridiculous. Yeah, I'm excited for it. I was looking at the DC Comics shop yesterday. There's a ton of really cool Blue Beetle merch. It looks like 1980s Miami vibe styled everything. I'm like, dude, I want some of these now. It looks really cool.
Also, I'm interested to know because I don't know exactly. I don't want to say exactly what he said. You guys probably remember, but like James Gunn stating that Blue Beetle is kind of tied into the DC universe going forward.
He's the first DCU character, which means that this movie is not tied into anything at all whatsoever. It's going to be completely standalone. You'll have no Ben Affleck, no Gal Gadot, no Henry Cavill, Jason Momoa, and nobody that we've seen before will be seen in this. So if there's a positive reception for him, they can bring him into future projects if they want to. If there's not, no harm, no foul.
Mhm.
I hope so because I like the actor too, Zolo, from Cobra Kai. I like Jaime Reyes. I think they can go far with him and get into a lot of his backstory and introduce other characters. I know it work with them introducing Booster Gold. Like Booster Gold's coming. James Gunn stated that they can introduce some of the characters, like some of the Ted Cord they can introduce later on, and finally get because. What would you rank him? Because he's not an A-list character. Would you say he's a B or a C?
Yeah, he's a C-list character, yeah.
And if more C-list characters get good reception, we can give shine to other C-list characters down the line. Even though James Gunn is giving us that with certain characters, he's already announced that he's going to show up. That's going to show up in Superman Legacy.
Yeah, everyone else is showing up. Why not him?
Mm-hmm.
I'm so Superman Legacy stuff is. I went from being excited, like this is gonna be great. There's no way this can be bad. He's clearly got passion for this. To being like, yo, what are you doing, homie? What are you doing?
I'm still excited.
I'm just so nervous now. I want it to work so bad. I want like a DC cinematic universe to either because they're dead set on doing one. Like I don't even want a DC cinematic universe. Just give me movies. They don't have to connect, and the success of this one is contingent upon the success of the one that came before it. They're like, stop. Just make Batman and Robin. Just give me like one-offs, Give me Superman. Just give me a Superman movie. If you want to throw a cool Lobo in as a villain or have him walk into Terrific and talk to Mr. Terrific in a scene, fine. There's always been Easter eggs in movies, but it doesn't mean come on, man. This is their ideas are too big anymore. It doesn't work. It's not going to work. This ain't. It's not going to work. Marvel, people are sick of it. People are tired of it. It's too much. It's too big of a commitment.
I was going to say, it just got so huge and unwieldy that they can't even control it now.
No. They can't. So what is going on with Super 87? Carlito's in the building. What is up, brother? I was happy. Dude, I was more than happy with Black Adam. I was talking, dude, me and Paul were talking about this yesterday. Black Adam introduced the JSA, right? Now, I don't know how many of y'all saw the animated film Justice Society World War II. It was in the current animated film universe. It was a Flash movie. Barry Allen Flash goes back in time. It's where in this current animated universe that we're in, it's where he figures out there's multiple Earths. And he goes back in time to Earth 2, to the JSA. They never should have tried to do a movie of Flashpoint. They should have done that animated movie, because if Black Adam introduced us to the JSA, this would have been the opportunity to do an introduction to Barry in World War II, fighting, using his powers. Younger Barry doesn't have this big of threats, back then. And it introduced us, it had Wonder Woman in there. It could add Gal, but it introduced Power Man, Jay Garrick, and other JSAers that we didn't see at that point. And man, that would have been the move. That would have absolutely been the move. James Gunn knows how to manipulate an audience. Have faith. Yeah, he knows how to manipulate an audience. He also knows how to make good movies. But Superman is, I've never seen anything in James Gunn's wheelhouse that looks anything like he's the guy to do Superman. I have faith that if he puts his best creative foot forward, he can get there. He can do it. I don't think he's ever had the opportunity to do anything like this. So it's new territory, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I mean, just having the character of Metamorpho in the same dialogue as your first Superman movie that you're leading off this new universe with scares me a little bit.
Yes.
And I don't know if he's being forced to do it because there was a report that he was being told discovered by whatever the guy's name is, I can't think of his name now, to put in all these other characters or whatever. But it should have been just Superman. Superman centric is what it should have been. Just Superman.
Yeah, you want to?
Zaslav?
No. There's two people.
Peter Safran.
Yeah.
Peter Safran. Yeah, I still watch Black Adam. Like, I'll turn that on and watch it. That's a fun movie. It's just balls to the wall.
See, but the same thing applies. If you kind of think about it, flip it a little bit with, all right, replace Black Adam with Superman, replace Hawkman with Hawkgirl, what's
Adam Smasher with Metamorpho, Cyclone with Hawkgirl. Yeah.
Cyclone would be like, there's 4 characters. There's Hawkgirl, Metamorpho,
Guy Gardner,
and Mr. Terrific.
Mm-hmm. Golly. So yeah, but that was kind of a lot of people's. It didn't bother me. I went in knowing these characters, but a lot of people's complaint was they brought in all these characters but didn't give us their backstory. Like, they're not the main of the movie either, though, right? Like,
no, they're not going to get much
backstory. This is a team of super people that what they're there for. You know why they're there. You see their dynamic. It's not their movie. You don't need their backstory. It's like getting mad that you're watching a detective drama and we didn't get the captain's backstory who the detective reported to. That doesn't even make sense to me. But that's how people watch these movies, and that's something you have to take into consideration. You put somebody in a cape or wings on somebody, they want to know all about them.
And I think it was stated too that they're not even there to be set up for another movie. They might show up in another movie, but they're not even set up in this movie. They're just there because they need to show that aspect of the world.
How cool that is, though, if this is like a truly like somber and hopeful Superman story, like as he's flying, you just see like rocks shift and move, and steam comes up, and Metamorpho just sits up and looks and watches as he flies over, and that's all you get, though. Like that would be nuts if you just get like little true cameos like that. Now that I would be absolutely in for. You know what I mean? Like that would be really cool. I'm excited to see like the tone of this movie. Like if you take it to like a retro feeling tone and stuff, which I really think that's what you need to make a Superman movie work. Like a Superman proper movie to work in a modern audience, you probably don't need to try to set it in like 2024. Like, take it back a little bit. Be in Metropolis. Let it look like the city of tomorrow kind of thing. I think that would help with teleporting the audience to that world, because this isn't our world. People want to take our world and lay it on top of what you're looking at, but you really need to like find things and pull out of it. But we'll see. There's a lot of books to talk about. Y'all want to switch over to books? We've been here for about an hour at this point. You got anything else you want to touch on before we start talking about some books?
I'm good.
Big week this week while Travis thinking. I'm just going to show what I picked up, and y'all can figure out what y'all read, what y'all didn't read. We had a brand new Black Label title by Mark Waid and Brian Hitch, Last Days of Lex Luthor. Loved it. All-Star Lex Luthor is what it's already been nicknamed, and I think that's what we're going to get, like All-Star Lex Luthor. This is wicked. Berserker came out with a one-shot written by Keanu Reeves, Steve Sklar, and Dave Stewart. Ghost Rider number 16, brand new arc starting. Incredible Hulk issue number 2. I hope everyone's picking that up. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 110. Night Terrors Titans. Night Terrors Detective Comics. Night Terrors Action Comics. Night Terrors Angel Breaker. Night Terrors Harley Quinn. Night Terrors issue 2. And I did get Danny Ketch Ghost Rider issue number 3. Loving that series. And I did get the 1 in 25 for Wolverine issue number 35 because I collect Wolverine. It's because it was this beautiful John Jang 1 in 25 variant.
Look at
Thought
that.
it was going to sneak past us, didn't it? It didn't, though. No, it didn't.
So if you were only picking up the Night Terrors, like the Night Terrors issue number 2, and not all the tie-ins, you'd have more Marvel than DC this week.
Yeah, and it's funny, I was talking about that, how all of my Marvel books release on the same week. This is 100% of my Marvel pool list is Hulk and Ghost Rider. And it just happened to catch a variant. But yeah, outside of Night Terrors, yeah, and then you got some indies on there. So yeah, outside of Night Terrors, the tie-ins, there's a proper in that. But also I would still be getting Action Comics, Detective Comics, Titans. But yeah, it was a solid week of reading. It was really, really good stuff. I also read a lot of other stuff on vacation this week. I read Wanted. I read Mouse, which was really, words can't express it. Just go read it. Holy crap. It was wild. House of Nerds show is in the building. What is going on? Hello, hello. Look at Gotham's Night, Nourish feed, but with modern devices. Yeah. What y'all pick up? Which ones y'all want to hit on? Some don't necessarily want to stay too late. I'm going to try to actually force myself.
I only read Incredible Hulk. So
Perfect. Out of all of them, that was the one to read this week. Brand new series. Did you caught up with issue 1 as well, TM?
Yeah. I wouldn't have read issue number 2 if I.
What are you thinking so far? This is you first time jumping on Hulk, right?
Yeah, I absolutely like it. It was a very, very quick read. Definitely a quick read. There's not a lot of words in this, but the irony is what really pulls you in, and then the story behind it is pretty cool. I forget the name of like who they're like worshiping in this issue. What was the name of the character that they're some random and they're like they're following. Yeah, well, these definitely don't look like living people, like going through this and that. And they're worshiping this person. The green door is open. We need to get rid of the beast, and that. And then they bring in the girl, who's literally trying to get him to Hulk out. And then she doesn't understand why he's saying this. Like, you're talking about Hulk like he's a different person and he's not you. So that was a really good little point there. But then near the end, they're just trying to sacrifice them. We don't get a Hulk in this issue at all, though.
Kind of not. Kind of so. It was cool in the sense that we do get to see this little girl that just showed up in the first issue. She was running away from an abusive home and ended up crossing paths with Banner, who's on Bill Bixby style traveling around. I was telling Becker that this is almost like a lost HBO Bill Bixby Hulk story being told, where he's traveling around trying just to not cause danger, not destroy stuff. And he inadvertently crossed paths with this little girl who has a very similar upbringing that he did with the abusive father, and she's not afraid of the Hulk at all. The biggest monster, the baddest monster that she's ever ran into was who she just got away from. So there's nothing that frightens this girl, and she wants to talk to the Hulk. She thinks it's something that she's aspiring to. He's trying to talk her out of it. And in the middle of them just trying to make it through the woods, I don't know if he's possessed, if he's just in the clique, but this backwoods deputy pulls up and sees him and pretty much forces them to get in the car. He's taking them up the road, and he thought he found like meat for the grinder, for the sacrificial grinder for this little ritual they're doing, trying to bring their deity up and at him. Now that the green door is closed, all the monsters are running rampant. Now that the immortal part of the Hulk is no more currently. So the monsters are trying to take back over everything. And in the process of this random guy walking in or getting drug in to get sacrificed, you get this great moment where Banner's talking to Hulk. And he's telling him, he's like, dude, you got to come out now. They're going to kill me. They're going to stab me. And Hulk, and you see him in the reflection of the knife, he's like, oh no, I'm not coming, not yet. And Hulk is so mad at Banner over that last run that he lets Banner get stabbed in the chest and lets him get sacrificed before he comes out. I thought that was hilarious. That was such a great touch that Hulk's like, nah, I'll wait here.
Also, I do want to play on the fact that like the father that she's trying to get away with died in the first issue and is like haunting her dreams right now, and that I'm not sure if this is realistic or it's actually him like coming after her, and I'm interested to see where that goes as well, because it's not the last time we've seen the father.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he'll definitely be back for sure. Another great read this week, high praises to Ghost Rider. Benjamin Percy's writing a great book, and this was a nice one-shot style issue right here. We did wrap up a great run with that last issue, so this was just like a little layover issue, and they used that opportunity to tell like 3 stories. You get each Ghost Rider, you get Johnny, Danny, and Robbie, and different time spans when they all came face to face with this certain hitchhiker, and they tell this crazy story of how this hitchhiker is like a flesh hiker. He goes around stealing people's flesh and using it for crazy purposes and stuff, and trying to be the last one standing kind of deal. But it was wicked cool. I highly suggest checking out that or the Danny Ketch retro story that's out right now, because this was fantastic as well. It just feels like you're in the 90s again. A little mini series, I believe. It's probably going to be 6 issues, most of them are. But yeah, both of those were great. You didn't read any Night Terrors this week, Travis?
I've been waiting to read the tie-ins, or not really tie-ins, the solo things. But I read First Blood in issue number 1. Still need to read issue number 2.
Well, it's fantastic. To be honest with you, this was probably the best week of Night Terror stuff yet. I keep saying it, but I had to eat crow on this series. It's not just like a ill thought out rush to print event. This is probably like my favorite event that I've read in years, to be honest with you. Like this is really fun. This is really good. It's well done. And if you want to know the details on Night Terrors, me and Paul have already recorded the DC Deep Dive that'll air tomorrow on his channel. We cover issue number 2 as well as all 5 of the tie-ins or one-shots. And again, I couldn't have been more wrong with how I projected this to go. Like, you won't believe what my read of the week was for him.
I do. Well, that sucks now, because I was just about to ask. Out of all of the one-shots, like even the ones that have already come out, they're not just the ones that have come out this past week, but the ones that first came out when the Night Terror started, which ones are like your favorite one-shots so far? Because I'll probably start with those.
I'll be honest with you. I think the single best written issue out of this whole event so far has been Punchline number 1. That was just like whoever wrote that. I forgot the name of the person who wrote it already. I didn't know their name. I had to stop on reading, like, who did this? But it was just like of the highest quality writing. It was just impressive. Like, I'm just like, I want to read this again. And it wasn't necessarily the story content, which was great too, but it was just like the way that they approached it, the way that they delivered it, and the way that they dove into like the train of thought that anybody would have in kind of that situation, where they did this so much differently than like, oh, you got your man. Like, you're a villain. This is the hero that you war with, and you succeeded. Train of thought after that was just like, it was amazing. And
then mine was probably Green Lantern, but then this week, the Harley Quinn one is really good. It's very meta. It's very, I mean, it is. If you like that type of stuff, this will be for you, because he delves into the multiverse and the multiversity issues and everything, and it's just,
again, in such a unique way too.
Exactly, yeah.
And my favorite one so far has been Flash, because the way that they approached it, unique to a speedster, I thought was fantastic. It was kind of like a carbon copy of the format that the Green Lantern one was done in, but proper through the lenses of somebody who has access to the Speed Force. And they kind of lay out this concept in the beginning of what's it like to be somebody who has access to the Speed Force, and like how do you know when you're going fast or slow or speeds in between, and they liken it to not knowing if you're awake or dreaming. So just that concept alone made something as dealing with nightmares a little bit different, the way that he interacted and viewed things in the issue, and it was a cool issue. Angel Breaker is a character that spun out of the pages of Joshua Williamson's Shadow War that crossed over between Batman, Robin, and Deathstroke Inc. And she's somebody that came up in the League of Assassins after the death of the demon and Talia stepping away, so she's associated with them. And she has this mystical sword, kind of like Katana, but it has its own abilities. It doesn't steal the souls of its victims. It kind of warns her of stuff in a way, like.
Yeah, and it is called Angel Breaker, which is both the name of the sword as well as the character. And it also anything that is directed, any power directed at it reflects back to the person who so it kind of has a semi boomerang effect on things like that as well.
Yeah.
So
and that was a terrible issue. But the last 3 pages of the Angel Breaker issue, I thought was actually horror. Like that was legitimate horror. Tim Seeley wrote that one, and I told it to Paul. I think he was just brown nosing Joshua Williamson, because he that's all he does, and the whole book is just like blow smoke up the tailpipe of that Shadow War stuff. Like, dude, you're doing a Night Terrors book, not an after for a little mini event that happened 2 years ago now. Like, what is going on? What is going on, DAGR cards?
I actually got around to, since I got like my haul and stuff, like I ended up reading Titans issue number 2 and enjoyed that. So how is Night Terrors Titans?
Terrible. If you ask me, like everyone's mileage is going to vary. I love Titans. I absolutely love the Titans. I love the Teen Titans. This book right here was a snooze fest from hell for me. But keep in mind, I binge read all of these books back to back digitally in the middle of the night. And Titans was not the first one I read, nor was it the last one I read, but it was I just wanted Angel Breaker to be over from the second page. And Titans, I felt the same way. I'm like, dude, I know what we're doing now. It's that you're just hitting copy. I have an idea for a story and I'm going to tell it in 3 pages. Well, what do I do with the other 24 pages? I don't know. Let's just do it again. And I'm like, this is boring.
And also I love the reveal in Titans. Like, I know you guys already read it. It didn't come out this week, but I love the reveal of who's working with the new, like I don't know if you can call it Brother Blood anymore, but.
Oh yeah, with Tempest showing up at the on the television. Yeah. I like how Brother Blood leaned into it. He's like, yeah, I did a lot of crazy stuff, right? But don't we all, trying to live forever? You want to live forever? Come with me. And this guy, you trust him, right? I'm like, dude, this is nuts. This is awesome.
This guy was a part of the Titans, and now he's on my team. So
remember, I tried to kill him too. Yeah, we save you all if you pay us, and we're going to be up front. We're going to need your money. I can't do this by myself.
I did not see that reveal because I knew he was working. Like he stated that he was working with somebody in issue number 1. I didn't know it was going to be Brother Blood.
Yeah, that was a big twist.
I thought it was going to be he was working with Waller or Peacemaker or somebody like, but no, it's total flip, and he's working with Brother Blood. Yeah. Also, Justice Society of America. It's been a while.
New issue this week.
Yep, Tuesday. It has been a while, and I'm excited. Jeff Johns, we used to back talking about Ryan, when me and Ryan were on here a long time ago, and when Geiger was getting ready to come out, I'm like, dude, it's Jeff Johns and Gary Frank. It's my comic book dream team. Like that's you don't skip Jeff Johns and Gary Frank. That doesn't even make sense. And Ryan said, I'm not picking it up because I'm not waiting 2 years for it to come out. I'm like, man, it's done. It's released. They already wrote it. It's just, that was part of the deal with Image. They wanted it all up front, and they got it. So there's not going to be delayed. And then we get here to this, and me and Ryan used to talk. Anytime we would say Jeff John's name, we'd put a disclaimer on it, like this book's coming out disclaimer. It may come out next week, and now we're right back to that same thing where you don't know when it'll come out, but when it does, fire, worth the wait. Hey, is that Capri?
Definitely gonna have to read issue. What is it? Issue 5 coming out. Definitely need to. No, issue 6.
No, 5. I think.
5.
I believe it's issue 5 this week. I think.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna have to read issue 4 again. Like it's been a while. It has been a long. When's the last time it came
issue
out?
4 is when she finally caught up with the. I did not, because you had Capri Sun in your mouth, and I was worried you were going to spit it out. Issue 4 was the one where they finally caught up with the JSA of our Earth, and they actually faced off with Degaton and had to go round and roundabout with him.
And I think in the last page, she is confronting Batman, I believe, right? If I remember correctly.
Mommy. I said mommy.
Well, and it's.
I hear it.
It didn't come out in June. It came out before June, didn't it? Was it?
Yeah.
Oh my God! It's been like 2 months.
Welcome to being a Jeff Johns fan in real time. Now you see why New 52 this guy was in charge.
Well, and here's the thing: we did have Stargirl. Stargirl wasn't delayed at all. Like I feel like he must have had that done like he had Geiger.
I think there's this thing with Stargirl because he has a
It's his
close
creation.
he has a close personal attachment. It's not just his creation; it's like the living embodiment of his sister and his work.
Exactly. Yep.
So there's like when the Stargirl TV show was coming, and I watched that first episode. I'm like, this is going to be a fire all the way through, and it was. When they called, they're going to cancel. Like, I'm not worried. We're about to have an amazing finale, and they're like, well, they just canceled. I'm like, I guarantee you, Johns will have a proper finale for this, and he filmed too. He had a canceled finale always ready because you were not going to ruin that show, no doubt. And now that book, it released perfectly. But you get over here to this, which is like the actual backbone to the new Golden Age stuff, and I don't know. I kind of half think that this was done intentionally to lead us into the later announcements, like they might have pulled the court too soon, or the Jay Garrett, Wesley Dodd stuff was just running late because that comes out in October, and now it's August, issue 5, September, issue 6, Jay Garrett and Wesley Dodd the next month. I mean, now we're on schedule to have an unbroken release of JSA stuff from him.
Because it's only a 7-issue series, right?
Oh, I assume 6, but if it's 7, even better.
I think it's 7.
That's good. That means it'll be going until 2025.
That's right.
Oh, and I did see in the solicits too that there's a how there's been the cardstock variants of like the characters. I think for issue 7, there's an awesome Stargirl cover.
Nice.
I need that in my life.
Yeah, those are pretty cool. I like seeing the Alan Scott one because he got like the beard in this series, and the beard is weird but in a good way. It looks cool.
They're all by Brian Hitch, I think, right?
Speaking of Brian Hitch, yes. Oh man, All-Star Lex Luthor, also known as The Last Days of Lex Luthor, brand new Black Label prestige format miniseries from Mark Waid and Brian Hitch. Guys, read this book. So one of the cool things of like why it's being called All-Star Lex Luthor, it's a Lex Luthor story. Superman's in just as much of it as Lex, but it's definitely focused on Lex's story. The All-Star part, something about All-Star that makes it different than anything else is it's a maxi series that showcases every angle of Superman through his history, through some of the most notable qualities and things associated with him. In this first issue, we kind of do that, but through the lens of Lex Luthor. Lex is terminally ill. He plans a massive attack on a small island nation just to get Superman out to draw his attention kind of thing, which are easier ways, but Lex don't care. He's never been about none of that. They go through the process of telling him that I'm sick, I'm dying, overexposure, bad experiment gone wrong with kryptonite. My cells are deteriorating. They confirm it, and they start looking for ways to save Lex because Superman won't let anybody die knowingly. Lex being a jerk in the process of telling Superman this and Superman agreeing to save him. Lex points out, like, hey, you're in this big robot I was going to destroy this island with. It's actually a lot of cameras. You're live streaming, and the entire world just saw you say you're going to save me. And Superman's like, dude, why you got to be a dick? He's like, because I know you'll still save me. Like, dude, this guy's just a bad guy. Like, he's a terrible person. But we go from there to seeing what we can do about Lex. He takes him to the fortress. And in this story, in this Black Label continuity, which is exclusive to this book, Lex has never been there before, didn't know about it. So he's seeing the Glass City of Kandor, the Phantom Projector. He's seeing all this stuff for the first time. And that's where you get like the All-Star vibes of going through all this Superman lore and seeing how Lex responds to it and how he reacts to certain things like being in the Phantom Zone, coming face to face with Zod, but in the Phantom Zone, and how like he's just a master of his emotions, of his senses and everything. And it was wicked cool. It was a damn good time.
Yes, the thing I like, I mean, for me, Brian Hitch can sometimes be hit or miss because sometimes I feel as though he kind of rushes his art and you don't get a lot of detail and things like that. But one thing he does very well and works very well here, I think, is he can be very cinematic in his drawing. You get a lot of the letterbox type panels, and it works really well in this book. I mean, Mark Waid, of course, has encyclopedia-like knowledge of Superman, and with some of the panels that Brian Hitch does, it's just incredible. So
can you got yours open? Can you go to that page splash of Superman carrying Lex to the fortress? Because here's this page. It should be on. I'm assuming it's gonna be on the left hand side. There's like there's a shot of Superman just carrying. There it is. And see, I read this digitally, vertically, so I didn't know how. I just figured with the way that it was laid out, it had to be a left side page. But look at Superman's little head. That's a gorgeous shot, but there's just something about like the way that Hitch draws bodies. It's not normal. Like the anatomy is off, but it's just one of those things that it doesn't bother me. I really, really like it. Like JR anatomy can be off, but it's his style, and Kirby anatomy can be off, but it's in his style. I enjoy Hitch stuff, and I think I first noticed it. Did he work on the Authority?
He did. Yep.
So I think that's where I first found him. Paul at ABX told me I got to read this Authority thing. It's wild, and went back and checked that out. It looks just like the Kevin Spacey version. LOL. Joe, did you read The Last Days of Lex Luthor? I bet you would like it. How big are the letters? This is one of those prestige format books, Kyle, so it might be a good candidate. Let's see.
There's another splash page that. But here are the letters and everything. They're just a little bit bigger than a normal comic.
Yeah, they're definitely a little bit bigger than normal.
Yeah, I love that splash page too.
It's on Ultimates. That's right. I read Ultimates long before that. So yeah, no, not yet. Plan on getting it payday. There you go. What is going on too? Tasty. How are the stories of this big boy? How are y'all storing this big boy? Oh, magazine size bag and board.
Yep.
Which are standard. And I'm a long box collector. Like these things back here, like stuff that I'm constantly in and out with. But I have magazine boxes. I have a lot of Black Label stuff. I had a lot of stuff before Black Label kicked off that I had a magazine boxes. So just they've been doing magazine size stuff like forever. Like that has to go in a magazine. Same exact size. That first first Rocket Raccoon there. But yeah, magazine box. Like you would get from your LCS.
I need to get a magazine box.
Yeah, Black Label stuff is like I think I haven't really set out anything but that Birds of Prey book and that terrible Jock book, Batman Blackout or something like that.
Yeah, I know what one you're talking about.
It was horrible. I got the first issue. I'm like, no.
I have like the Black Label stuff. Like I have the Swamp Thing run by
That
Jeff
was good.
Lemire. Then I also have the Question from the Black Label.
Oh my
Jeff
God,
Lemire.
yeah. The mini deaths of Victor Zsasz. That was like 4 issues. Dude, that was so good. And that's been a while.
The Swamp Thing one by Jeff Lemire. That was on a Jeff Johns type of releasing schedule.
Mm-hmm.
They did the first issue, and then it disappeared for 2 years.
Yep. So that was there's things outside of
The Question. That was really good. Dennis
I
Conlon.
like how all those covers match, and you just get a different era drawing of them. Yep.
Ooh,
No, the one with the Batwing was fantastic. It had a nice hang to it. But that was no, the one that jocked it. You're thinking Lee Bermejo drew the Batwing.
Mm.
That was Batman Damned,
Mm-hmm.
which was the sequel to their Joker.
Right. Which it's more famous for the fact that it has the Batwing in it, but it actually is the first. It is the very first Black Label release.
Yep. But God, what was that? Man, it was this terrible book that Jock thought that he's going to write a comic for some reason, and they're like, "Sure, go for it. You can do the artwork in it too." And the artwork was fine. It was Jock, but it was Batman transporting a meta prisoner through Gotham when all the lights go out. Like, but it was just bad. It was so bad. Radio. It was so bad I forgot the name. If y'all want to know a really good, cool one, it was just a one-shot called Batman the Detective, I believe.
Didn't we call like One Dark Night or something like that? I think, wasn't it? Something
That's
like that?
it. That sounds right. It might not be right, but I'm going to say it's right because that sounds good. Almost as good as Can You Kill a Dead Man?
Twice.
Guys, that's 10 o'clock. I'm got nothing. Y'all got anything else you want to touch on?
I think I'm good.
No, I don't think so. No.
Okay. I do want to remind everybody that this is the last Sunday of the month. That means next Sunday we will draw for the Legion Loot winners. So be on the lookout on the YouTube channel. I will definitely be posting what's in it this coming week. Got some slab action and some big time collectibles exclusives. I think I'll throw this in there. I think this one will be in there this month.
Oh, nice.
Team, is this a book that you're after?
Yeah.
Swamp Thing #1.
Everybody likes the Swamp Thing.
I believe so. That's a decent book, right? Swamp Thing #1. Definitely throw that one in there. Find some other cool stuff to go in there.
It's no Animal Man #1. But
Yes, Dr. Vanu, you should definitely continue reading Injustice.
I have that Animal Man put up. I just got that first. It's not the first appearance of Buddy Baker, but it's first appearance of him as Animal Man. I got that not long ago. But yeah, so be sure to check out the channel. Follow on IG. I'll post some stuff about it to share what's going to be in it before we get there. And definitely hit that join button. Consider becoming a channel member, supporting the channel even farther. Check out some of the merch and all that stuff. It definitely helps to fund these Legion Loot stuff. That's where all that money and plenty more goes to try to give back to you guys that I appreciate so much. But that's going to do it for tonight. Hit the thumbs up if you missed the beginning. Be sure to catch it all on the rewind. And until next time, as always, I'm Mark, but we are Legion.